Hello and welcome to the True North Show. I'm your host, Megan North. I'd like to thank the sponsors of this show, Quantum Awakening, Beth Lewis, Anne C. Clark, and our lovely guest who paid to be featured on this episode. Today, I am joined by a man who, as soon as we met, I feel like that we had a past connection, possibly a past life together. But that instant recognition you get when you meet someone for the first time but feel like you've known them for ages. So Greg Riley is an ex-banking executive and Australia's most gifted psychic. Author of The Architecture of Experience, Greg explores the notion that consciousness is not based on reality and the purpose of life is experience itself. I love that. Welcome to the show, Greg. I'm so thrilled that you're joining me today.
For your listeners, we had a pre-chat that went for 2.5 hours, something like that. And it was all war stories from corporate life. So, yeah.
It was. And there was so much synergy between us as well, wasn't it? Isn't it funny that when you talked to me about about the word authenticity?
Yeah.
And how you said, the word authenticity, it's really about honesty. And I'm like, oh my God, that's what I think as well.
And we talk about the hijacking of vulnerability, right? So that's been completely hijacked into some fad. It's a cult now of, that's not real, true vulnerability. It's a vulnerability to show that you're vulnerable, but it's not really vulnerability.
Yeah. Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I reckon I'm going to ask this first question and then we're just going to take off. So
it normally happens that way.
Let's go. So, Greg, what was the defining moment that led you to pursue your true passion and purpose?
Complete breakdown. So I had what you would consider a very happy and successful life from the outside. And then you realize that no matter how much you get of that, the dopamine chase, once you get to a certain point and you achieve something, it's hollow. And externalizing success, an achievement, and I need to get somewhere to mean something is exhausting. And you end up, where I was, taking a bucket of drugs to probably counterbalance that. Because getting that in a certain crowd in corporate, that's just what happens really. And then your relationships break down. There's no depth to anything, and you're really not living a life of any real purpose apart from driving that corporate career. And you've got the corner office, you've got the car, you've got the house, you've got the girlfriend, and no one knows that you're falling apart inside because you can't let anyone know that that's exactly where you're at. So you got to keep the facade up. But the facade can only stay for so long before you actually have a complete breakdown. So breakdowns, as you know, are the breakthroughs, and through that, a marriage breakdown and stuff like that, you kind of realize that, well, there's a common denominator here. It's me. And even though, I've been on this spiritual journey for a long time, it's very easy to get hooked into the world of achievement and status and money, because where we came from, you paid a lot of money. It's very easy to fall into that world and just get stuck in that loop of, well, if I just earn more money, I'll be happier, and that never works out that way.
Yeah. And the tipping. So how long ago was that tipping point for you?
It's sort of like that sort of happened in my early 20s, and that was through a relationship breakup where it was not good, right? I did the wrong thing. I was not in the right place. But then I thought, well, I started doing martial arts, which was great, and that sort of opened up one door, and then I thought, well, I'll give meditation a crack. So I started to look at, okay, what are the other things you can do? Like I love human psychology. It's something I've always loved to understand is how people work, right? Even when before that in my early 19s, I was studying hypnotherapy when I was like 19, 20 to understand how we work as human beings, right? So, so I sort of fell into this place of doing meditation in this place in Lake Warren in Melbourne with a group of females, right? So it's me as a dude and all these meditations. But the meditation center was attached to a place that did a lot of spiritual stuff. So they did a lot of mediumship, tarot readings, a lot of stuff where you would do visualized journeys and stuff like that, right? So I was doing that and literally just rocking up in my suit, right? So here I'm here, coming from work, telling everyone at work I was going to do an IT course when I was really going to do a meditation. Back then you couldn't say that. Which I was still playing football at the time as well too, right? So you got that, and then so I'm rocking up, and then they sort of loved it. Like it was great having the male in amongst all the females there, and somebody who was sort of like me, because this again sounds probably very offensive. All the men who turned up in those places were very spiritual and they were very different. And here was somebody from corporate who was very, very different, perceived successful, all that kind of stuff, and exploring this place, exploring this aspect of himself, because he wanted to make himself better. And the girls loved it. It's like, where are more people like you, right? I said, they're all out there probably drinking or snorting cocaine or something like that, trying to alleviate that part of the world, right? So how that evolved was when I went, okay, well, I'll try, the tarot course, because people were practicing on everybody and all that kind of stuff. Ended up in the tarot course. So there's me and another dude in that amongst all the women again. And I think, the first lesson we went to, you basically doing 3 cards at a time. So you'll do the ace, and the suits and all that kind of stuff. So you do the first 3 and you just do readings for each other. And then we did something called psychometry in that space. And I got the guy's ring, and I just said, okay, well, you need to read it. And there was really no instruction, just give what you get. It's like, okay, right. And literally I was reading it and just saying what was coming to me. And the guy across from me is just like, how are you getting this stuff? Wow. How are you, like, I had no idea who he was. And I'm just holding this ring, and it was his dad's ring. And I'm saying, well, he used to live in a pub, he lived down Sale Way and he used to travel around a fair bit. And then, again, he was a publican. And he's just like, who the hell are you? For one, the girls there are going, holy crap, how did you learn to do this? I'm like, this is my first time. I don't know what I'm doing, right? And from that place, I think I just devoured books, because at that time you had to read books, right? I wasn't in the library, but I think one of the first books I read was Opening to Channel by Sanaya Roman. That was really good. And then I just started to really dabble in the world of spiritual side of things, human psychology, the hypnotism, counseling, all that kind of. So I tried to combine a lot of different things, and then you get into the Citibank stuff, the 3 principles stuff, you get in the Byron Katie stuff, you get into even the Peter Crone stuff. You start to see different people who have a version of how to help people become, try and find what they're searching for, right? And the more and more I went down this path, the more and more I realized that the way that your inner world reflects everything externally. But everyone was trying to be healed. Everyone was broken. Everyone was coming with their trauma. Everyone was holding on to, this is who I am, and I'm like this because this happened to me. And it's like, this doesn't work, right? So evolve over time is that with everything I've learned, I've sort of come up with my own methodology and my own way of sort of how I see clients, which is a very much different aspect to the way that most people work, because I believe, and the way that my clients have profound change, is that life life's purpose is experience. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
We're not here to save the world. We're not here to have 4 million followers. We're not here to have a massive corporate career. I'm not here to save, all these men's groups and all that kind of stuff. You've got all these people are trying to gain purpose, by this external thing. When I turn it around and say, well, maybe the experience you're having now is exactly what you need for your evolution. And what is this experience you giving you the opportunity to learn about who you are or develop, right? Or to be able to explore about who you really are. And everyone's trying to ascend. Everyone's trying to leave the matrix. Everyone talks about, I've got to become more spiritually aware. And you and I is like, no, you're coming here to live in the physical body. You're here for 3D stuff.
Yep.
Don't try and leave, because that in itself is an illusion, right? Because if you leave the game stops.
Yeah.
Right? You chose a human body for a reason.
Yeah.
To have these, and some of the experiences are horrible.
Yep.
Some of them will challenge you. Some of them you don't want. Some of them are the greatest experiences that you've ever had. Some of them are despair. Some of them are grief. Some of them are the love the highest of highs, right?
Yeah.
There is the human experience. That's why you're here.
Yep.
And then you get to be able to give the meaning about that experience based on who you are, right? And I also think that people are trying to get rid of the ego or get rid of the identity. I believe the opposite is that a very strong, healthy ego and identity is part of the game.
Yeah.
So I have a different take on things, right? Yeah. And being in the spiritual community quite a fair bit, you see a lot of spiritual bypassing and a lot of people trying to avoid the negative or trying to avoid the darkness or trying to get away from feeling the negative emotions, right? The negative is the path to your exact evolution you need. So we embrace it. We embrace the feelings. I help people feel again. I help them feel every aspect of that despair, that grief, that insignificance, that shame, that guilt, and we literally transcend it, right? We use it, we give it the meaning it's there for, not I'm feeling like this because I am a piece of crap.
Yeah.
And then I need to use that as a excuse for my behavior that I'm currently in, right? Yep. And then it becomes about victimization, about, my life is because everybody else is like this towards me or whatever it is, right? So the question is, how did I get into this? Everything I've learned, it was been about me first. I haven't gone into this to try and save the world. I haven't gone into this to try and become famous. I haven't come into this to try and have some kind of following or guru-ish kind of stuff. Everything I've learned, I've tried and tested first and failed at a bucket load of stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
I found that this for me and the way that my clients work is probably the easiest way that you'll get any kind of meaning back in life.
Yeah. And I've had a bit of an aha moment sitting here listening to you talk about that, because I went and saw, I found a new kinesiologist to do a little bit of work with. And when I got to her treatment room and so she got me to lay on the bed fine. And not once did she come to muscle test me. And so at the end of the session, I said to her, are you not going to muscle test me? And she said, oh, no, I do it by proxy. I do it because I do so much online. And it's all right because I was asking the questions in my head and, I've cleared it all. And for me, I really had an issue with that, because I then was like, well, what did you work on? What came up? Because for me, it's not that I need to know the story. I don't need to hold on to the story, but I need to logically go, aha, that's interesting. Yes, that was a belief that my dad had, or, and then I go, oh, great, I've cleared it now. Now I can move on. And I really struggled because I need to logically understand what's going on so that then I can go, I don't know, I just need that logic understanding. And so
You would have felt it somatically first.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. I did feel things shift,
Mm.
but for me, I like to talk things through and get a logical sense of it. So,
And I've got like a 6-step process. Step 5 is mind and heart coherence.
mm,
And that in itself, right, is having those two in coherence is very, very vital, because you can't sort of get there without either one of those. Imbalance in one of those becomes too emotional. Imbalance in your thoughts becomes too intellectual.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, good one.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and because without knowing what work she did on me, I kind of
Mm.
feel like, I mean, I'm not worried that she did anything bad because I don't attract those sort of people. That's fine, but yeah, it was just an interesting process to go through. Whereas
Mm.
when I told my husband, he's like, "Oh, that sounds great," because he says, "I'm just happy just to lay there and you do all the healing work, and I don't need to talk about it."
Yeah. And even in that point, like it's the word healing is like, why? Even asking that question, why do we need healing? And going deeper into that part about, well, what is it that we're trying to heal? Because
Mm,
ideally, and this is not my thing, right? This comes back from, philosophies from, 2,000-3,000 years ago. Sydney Banks made it popular about the nature of thought. You've got, again, Byron Katie's like, you're never broken in the first place, right? You've got a lot of these people out there who are saying is like, if you're really connected with who you were, your spiritual out, you can't be hurt, right? You're an infinite being, right? And yes, there's parts of the human body that are actually not where you want to be, right? But without that experience, you wouldn't be half the person that you are.
totally, absolutely.
So
Yeah, yeah.
there's perspective about, but that's what, I'm going to go on a tangent because, back in 2011, I won a TV show called The One. And that was to find Australia's most gifted psychic, and it was on Channel 7 and all that kind of stuff. And that didn't last very long for me, because coming from the background that I had, which is more in the coaching therapy space, hypnotherapy, psychology, and stuff like that, jumping into the, I still do readings, but I do readings very, very differently.
Mm,
It's more about, okay, right, this is where you're at, this is where you're heading, this is why you've got the block. This is the reason why your future is going to end up here, is because humans are a pattern of the past. Humans are very easy to predict, right? I am probably letting a secret out here, is that from a psychic perspective, if a psychic is any half decent, 80% of it's psychology. Because we're a pattern of our past, right? We're a pattern of our identity. Because if I think that I'm unworthy in love, if I'm unlovable, guess what I'm going to attract in a relationship?
yeah,
That nothing to do with psychic. There's no intuition there whatsoever. It's pure psychology, right?
yeah.
So, people like you and I who can combine, deep psychology part and influence and behavior on top of the intuition, we're very rare, right?
Yeah.
We're like hen's teeth, right? Because
Yeah.
most psychics, and this is what I didn't like, it's very dangerous, because we got people's lives in our hands, and people take what we say literally. And they'll go and do things based on, I know people have broken up relationships because a psychic has said so, right?
Yeah.
You've heard it as well too, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is that these people don't know anything about how human behavior works.
Mm. Yeah.
And this is where I suppose I didn't last long, is because, and we talked about this, the other week, is that I was having stand-up arguments with customers and clients about, well, this is where you're at. And they go, no. A psychic told me I'm going to meet Dave in October. I'm going to meet my soulmate in October. It hasn't happened. Where is he? Have I missed something? And it's like, hang on, back a bit. You've just come out of 3 relationships in 3 years. All were abusive. Your father left when you were a teenager. Your mother raised you. You never saw your dad again. She basically berated about how bad he was, right? You've got into bad relationships after bad relationships. You need to deal with this shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But they weren't wanting that.
Yeah.
They were wanting the psychic reading about everything's going to be okay. You're going to meet Dave in October, and he's going to come in and sweep you off your feet. Life's going to be perfect. You're going to have 2 kids, boy and a girl, blue eyes, blonde hair. You're going to live up here. You're going to be financially okay. You don't have to work at anything, but you're going to be financially okay, right? That's people want to hear that,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
where I was coming from was like, no, you're getting nowhere. You're going to keep repeating this pattern. I'm sorry, Dave's not coming.
Yeah.
Roger's coming, and he's going to do exactly the same thing
Yeah.
as what's happened the previous 3 times.
Yeah.
And I had people walk out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I stopped doing that kind of reading because it didn't service me.
Yeah.
And it didn't help the client either, right? Because it wasn't what they were looking for.
Yeah.
And I'm knocking that, what that is, right? And if people want that kind of reading, go for it, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely go for it.
Yeah.
All right. There's nothing wrong with that. Just take a grain of salt with that stuff, right?
Yes.
Seeing someone like me and you is depth.
Yeah.
You're going to hear stuff you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
You're going to hear your patterns. You're going to have to take accountability and responsibility for your life exactly where it is right now.
Yeah.
And the only way you're going to get to here is taking accountability, responsibility for you, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's coming to save you.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And it's real. I did quite a few readings over the Christmas New Year break because I do forecast readings for people. And it's really, majority of them over this break were all like, it's really interesting because it's just confirming everything that I'm thinking at the moment. And I'm like, great. I actually love that because for me, it almost, I feel like it allows my clients then to surrender to, and also to trust their own intuition. This is what you're thinking and this is what's coming up. So actually just go and trust that. I love that because it's that, and then they're like, isn't that interesting? You know, that sort of thing. And I love that response. Because it's like, good. Yes, this is just confirming everything that you already know.
Yes.
But sometimes people do need that extra confirmation from a card or whatever. But yeah, it's interesting. I love those responses of, yep, okay, this is just confirming everything that I already knew. I'm like, great.
Yeah.
Go forth.
They can be very powerful using the right. I don't think, I probably can count on one hand when I was doing it full time, people come in and going, Greg, I want you to read about where I'm blocked right now, where I am spiritually, what I'm here to actually encounter right now. What am I trying to overcome? What is life showing me to actually explore? Nobody said that.
Yeah.
Most people come for 3 things: love, work, money.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's 90% of it.
Yeah.
Most of it's love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially because your clientele is mostly female.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not yours, but mine was mostly female.
Yeah.
A lot of it usually is around the relationship side of things, then combined with a bit of work and financial side of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So, again, giving away trade secrets for people is that I'm horrible like that. People's like, Bitchy, it's like, sorry, but that's what it is, right?
Yeah. And then if you take back then what you said before about we're here for the exact moment being a 3D human, then actually you're just giving them that exact experience because the experience is this.
Yeah. Correct.
Yep.
It's just experience, right? And it's people kind of get, because you get this nihilism because you go down this path, right, where my thing is that consciousness itself is part of the construct of the universe, right? Mm-hmm. Where consciousness is there as part of the universe for us to be able to express and experience ourselves, including the emotions, right? So for us to have the experience through the way that we see things, feel things, and smell things, and all the senses, that requires consciousness to be there as a layer within the universe for the experience. We're not trying to attain consciousness. Right? It's a layer within the construct itself, right? Same things like religion was created as a construct because human beings need something to believe in, otherwise the game fails again.
Yep.
So the universe itself has been created and gone in an instant. We're living it out already, right? We're living it out in time, but it's been and gone, right? So this is the thing, we exist outside of this, right? But part of the what we're trying to experience here requires consciousness itself to be able to be part of it. But so this is where I differ from a lot of people, because a lot of people think that the way you're trying to evolve is to experience and become consciousness or one with consciousness.
Yep.
And so I've got a different tact. So
yeah. Yeah, it's just an awareness of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Being aware, I feel like your awareness is your consciousness.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I really tuned into that. I'm not surprised that that happened. I'm
Mm,
tuning into the consciousness because it's just an awareness.
mm. And where are you connecting it through?
Where am I connecting it through? Well, yeah, well, through me. I mean, yeah, yeah,
Through your,
yeah, it's me. I mean, I'm in the physical body and I'm feeling it and it's coming to me.
yeah,
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 yep, interesting.
yeah,
Really interesting.
yeah. And then you get
Mm,
to the point where you kind of people start to go, okay, we talked about nihilism before, where okay, if life is just an experience, does it mean anything? It's like because if once you get to the point of going, what means nothing, it's like no, it's not what I'm saying. I'm
yeah,
saying it means everything. The experience is everything.
yeah,
Feeling, love, despair, grief, joy, happiness, brokenness, depression, anxiety, it's all part of the human experience that's to be embraced and enjoyed.
yes, yeah,
And so then you go past that. Well, if it's just a simulation, just a game, which people think, well, because that then takes away from the fact that if it's just a simulation, it means nothing, right? And
yeah,
that's where you get to nihilism, where everyone's, well, it doesn't mean anything. I can do whatever I like. It's like, no. It's still a simulation. It's a holographic universe, right? Based on a foundation of mathematics,
yeah,
right? But it means so much because it's the meaning of emotion we get,
yeah, yeah.
right? And emotion is the whole piece.
Mm,
It's
mm.
everything. Because if you're just trying to sit there and evolve up spiritually to this, I'm the 12th ray, the 12th dimension, some Palladian kind of bullshit, right? Sorry, I'm swearing, but right? That in itself is you're not breaking free from anything.
Yeah, yeah. And
Right?
then that's very egotistical as well, right?
Oh, that's another podcast, spiritual
Yeah,
egotism.
yeah, yeah. Okay, all right, good, good. One of the my many decks of cards
Yeah,
behind me here, Rebecca Campbell, she's got Work Your Light cards, which I really love. They're beautiful oracle cards, and one of the cards is that the explanation is this isn't happening to you; it's happening for you.
even more. It's like you've created it.
Yeah, and it's I love that card.
Yeah,
It can be quite confronting for
it is.
people
Yeah,
because it's like, well, hang on a minute. Yeah, but so it takes you out of that I'm not the victim. It's not happening to
yeah,
me. It's happening for me and I've yeah, and then that last piece is that I've actually attracted it to me.
yeah. And you can even go further. And this is where it gets really cool, is because you start combining that with human psychology and influence
Mm.
and persuasion. You understand how the identity is created. Because Greg here, Greg is a construct of society,
Yep.
right? The way that I see myself is based on how I've been brought up, society, my parents, my school, my peers, social media, all that kind of stuff, right? And that in itself is something that's I think I've made up, but I haven't
Yeah.
been created, right? So I'll give you an example. By asking one question, I can make you join a cult by simply asking you one question. And this is how we easily influence human behavior, right? So the question would be, what coffee do you like? Right?
Oh yeah. Yep. Well, I
So,
don't drink coffee.
so for example, just by
Yeah.
telling me what brand that you like, I can
Mm.
then profile you. So let's say you like sustainability and you're about farmers and you're about the collective good and all that kind of stuff, right? So
Yeah.
you'll pick a coffee that there is then a certain brand, and they'll go, okay, right, I know that brand is about sustainability, about farmers, about giving back. I'll then know you're more social democratic.
Yeah.
I'll know there that you're more left leaning than right.
Mhm.
So then I will do what? I'll create yes statements. So I'll create people like us do this, people like us do that. And you just keep going, yes, 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 right? So I'm getting you to agree with who you are, right? But I'm leading you into that place,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
then I'll go, but we're not like these other people over here, the capitalists, ones who rape and pillage the farmers and the environment and all that kind of stuff. And you're going, yes,
Mm.
yes, yes.
Mm.
So I'm getting it by about 15, 20 statements of yes. I've already got you
Yeah.
by that point, right? Then what I do is I create a villain.
Uh-huh.
and be outraged against. So I'm
Yes.
creating emotion inside of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not telling you anything. I'm not saying believe in what I'm believing in.
Yeah.
I'm purely asking you questions about who I actually think you are and I believe you are. And I'm getting you to say yes to this stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'll say, well, I've got a group here. It's about this. We're about social justice. We're about belonging. We're about, taking on these people, right? We're about heart centered. We're about farming. We're about sustainability. We're about saving the world, right? They already said yes prior to that. They're actually interested in that stuff. And once I make it about a collective and about a group, and people like us do this stuff, guess what they're saying?
Sign me up. I'm part of. How can I join? What can I do?
All because I asked you about what coffee you actually drink.
Yeah.
That's how easy it is to influence human behaviour.
Yeah.
That's why understanding how you work psychologically and identity-wise, understand how we're all being played in this world.
Yeah.
Right? Once you start to unravel, there's the awakening.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is you think you've got free will, you think you've got choice.
Yeah.
You think it's about Democrats and Republicans. It's not. The same master is actually running the game. You think you've got choice.
Yeah.
The illusion of choice is to give you two options. But I already know both options lead to the same place.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think you're making a decision. Most humans think they're making a decision and choice. 99.9% of us react to life.
Yeah.
None of us are making choices. We're all puppets. And so I believe part of the awakening is to realize, oh shit, I've been played.
Yeah. Yeah.
My whole life.
Yeah.
The problem with that is cognitive dissonance, right? Because people don't like to be wrong about themselves.
Yes.
They will double down before they go, I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm.
And the moment you're actually okay with being wrong is the moment you set yourself free, because then you can see what's happening behind the scenes. You can go, right, there's actually, it's the same people playing both sides of politics, right?
Yeah.
They're just keeping you separated. They're keeping you distracted. They're keeping you fighting at this level, because if you realize what's happening, there'd be a massive uprising.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You'd have to look at, okay, right, these people at the top here, they're evil.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how easy, by giving that example.
Yeah.
Is somebody who has studied, like I'm like that. There's people out there who know this, right? Yeah. Imagine if I can do that with that much knowledge.
Yeah.
What other people are doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can see it in day-to-day stuff, right? What you'll see is how that's played out, right? Because if you're outraged about something, there's a reason why you're outraged. Yeah. They want you to react a certain way. Mm-hmm. And if I can keep everyone in fear, I can control you.
Yeah. Yeah. And you see that a lot in spirituality as well, right? Because then people are spiritual, but then they think that then there's all these rules around it. I can't do this and I can't do that and I can't do that. Well, that's if you're a really spiritual person, but you want to, I don't know, drink alcohol or do whatever, that's okay. Like, just be a good person. Full stop.
I think it killed him in the end, Alan Watts, right? So, yeah, look, it's, how do I say this without offending most of the spiritual community? Don't care. The spiritual side of things is probably the most hypocritical place on the planet, right? Because they promote spiritualism, but it's another group, it's another cult, it's another, look how spiritual I am. Look at I'm in this group and I've done this and I'm doing this many ice baths and I meditate, I'm doing Wim Hof and I'm journaling and I wear white everywhere. So here I am wearing white. Right? They're all rules again. Yeah. So what does religion have?
Yeah,
expectations like. So it's just another religion that creates a cult of spiritual people, and they're using it exactly the same thing. People like us, we're heart-centered. We care about people. Yeah. It's another manipulation technique to say, look how spiritual I am, but you're still stuck in the world. You're still stuck in the illusion. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So when you start to wake up to the fact of, if I'm in that group, I'm part of I'm still stuck in the matrix.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's okay to have different ideas, and if you're spiritual, that's okay. Like just be yourself and just be a nice person. That's
Like, why do
to
you need
me
the label?
isn't yeah, exactly. Yeah, well that's it. Just be a nice person.
Yeah.
How about we just be a nice person?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
be good to
But,
people.
but nice requires you to have a very honest conversation with your heart.
Yes.
And then, like you and I, if for our listeners, Megan and I come from very high corporate backgrounds, right? We have some war stories, right?
Yeah.
Part of that place is to help people develop intuition and awareness, like you said before, because you can't hide from that,
Mm-mm.
right? Being nice requires you to have a look at yourself and go, where am I not being honest? Where am I not being nice? Where am I being fake vulnerable? Where am I sitting here about, hey, I'm on TikTok purely to get followers because I have no self-worth,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Who knows what it is, right? That's the courage that it takes to sit there and be honest with yourself. When we talked about authenticity at the start and stuff like that, radical honesty and radical authenticity is not nice.
Yeah.
It's a dark place you go to because you have to own up to some stuff that you don't like about yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then that's where the breakthroughs happen.
Welcome to the human experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like I said, I wouldn't be half the man I am today without all the shit I screwed up and I continue to screw up.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I agree. I'm the same. All my past experiences, my experiences, even just from what I did this week, I don't know. I'm sure that there's lots of lessons and wisdom that I've gained this week just because I've, thought that I needed to do something and didn't, or I thought that that was the right thing to say and maybe it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's then about choosing and where do I put that energy? Is it like, have I really done something wrong and actually hurt someone?
Yeah.
Okay, well, fine. I might need to address that. Or is it, it's past, it's gone, and that's okay. Like, don't put any energy into it.
Isn't that a funny word, wrong and bad?
Or wrong. Yeah, good. Yeah, thanks for picking. Yeah.
Because you don't know. This is the point, is that you're very quick to label wrong and bad.
Yeah.
Because, and let me use the example, right? So I've been divorced, separated from my first wife and stuff like that. She's in a much better relationship than she was with me.
Yeah.
So the way that it sort of ended and left and went off is like, well, you can say that was wrong, but in reality, it's actually ended up much better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Hindsight's a great thing, but we're very quick to label, this is wrong or this is bad, but it's a perspective. Not truth. There's never a truth about, there is no one reality, right? It's just the reality that you perceive, the perspective, which is based on how you view yourself. So if you've got self-worth issues, guess how you're going to view the world? As fear, as scared, as everyone's against you. Right? And that's all you're going to see. Is threat. You'll be hyper vigilant the whole time. And what you'll go and do is you go and see a doctor to try and deal with your hypervigilance. They'll put you on antidepressants and medications because you've got generalized anxiety. By the way, we're not health experts. We don't teach health.
Okay,
right? But saying that is that if you actually treat the part that is the core of the issue is about how you view yourself, right, intellectually and somatically, and you actually question the fact of, well, why do I actually think? Well, something happened to me, right? Yeah, something happened to me where I felt bad about myself, right? But that's the gateway in. There's the portal in to go deeper into that space. There's the invitation to go, well, what is that experience teaching me? Right? I got to feel this. I got to feel horrible. I got to feel despair. I got to feel grief. I got to feel betrayal. But it's not me, right? It's an event. I make up the story about it.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, because it's just an event. It's just that moment in time. Then it's what's the story and the perspective that we put onto it.
And some of those stories and experiences are actually very valid. Like, you may want to go through that because you can't bypass it. Like, there are some therapies out there who go straight to, no, it's not real. It's an event. It's happened. It's just a thought pattern, and you bypass the negative emotion. What I'm about is like, no, just go into it.
Yes.
Go in and then start to question it while you're in that emotional state somatically.
Yeah.
And then you start to feel through your intuition and your awareness around consciousness itself to be able to how the game is played, to go, okay, well, that there is a gift in itself. I get to feel that. I get to feel betrayal.
Yeah.
Right. But how does that allow me to become because of that?
Yeah.
Well, I become this person who actually stands in authenticity and integrity because of the event. So when I'm going into a relationship, right, betrayal is not something that I actually even consider because I've been through that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting, the technique that I use as a healer, theta healing. So I use, take someone into the theta brainwave and we work on belief systems. And it's called, when we're trying to find the bottom belief of a situation, it's called a digging technique.
Yep.
So I keep digging. So usually what happens when I'm working with someone, intuitively, I already know what the bottom belief is. But if I told them what it was, there's no benefit, right? And so the digging technique is great because the question that I continually ask is, what's the worst thing about that? And what's the worst thing about that? And and we dig, because they have to go through and actually dig on those emotions to get to the bottom, to realize what it is, so that then we can rewire and rechange those belief systems. But if I just told them, it's a little bit like me going to that kinesiologist and not really understanding what work they did.
Well, and this is where the mastery comes in between the really advanced aware healers, because when you get to that point where that person has that insight, doesn't necessarily mean they'll actually change, because too often people are using that behavior and using that trauma to get something.
Yeah, there's a benefit.
Usually it's pity, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I get to blame everybody else or blame something for my situation or my behavior as why my life is like it is, right?
Yeah.
So the real art form lies in the ability of the person to guide that person out of victimhood into accountability, awareness, and creation.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, as I said, there's the hen's teeth.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what, we change all those belief systems and teach you what it feels like to feel safe, or, like have the opposite effect of what the actual negative relationship it was with that. So,
And that's why I love teaching the spiritual and the psychology, influence, persuasion part together.
Yeah.
Because what I tell people is that when you come as a client to me, I've got one ask. Right. And this is across the board. Unless you do this, you don't come as a client for me. Right. You have to pay it forward. You have to teach somebody else this. You have to actually impart this on somebody else. I'm going to educate you. This is not fixing you. This is not therapy, not coaching, not counseling. This is an experience, and I get to teach you something. And my thing is, you have to teach somebody else it. You have to pay it forward.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah, because teaching somebody about the identity, the human psychology, how you're actually made up, and how that part works, and the spiritual aspect on top of that, where it's about experience, that combination in itself it sets people not free, but they go from reaction to creation. They become a creationist. Now, they may create, because they want to create and this is funny to say, they may go, I think I want to experience something really dark. I'll go and do that, right? Because all of a sudden you go, I want to learn about this, and creation will be, that is going to be very difficult. That's going to challenge me. I'm going to be stripped bare.
Yeah.
Go down there.
Yeah.
Right? Because you have a different aspect of life. You have a different view of the way of life. We won't go, that's going to be joy. I'll go and do that. That's going to be unhappiness. It's going to be euphoria.
Yeah.
You start to create and you just explore. You simply explore life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And there comes the freedom people are looking for. And that's true relief for people who are living in a construct where they're constantly trying to get somewhere, achieve something, attain something, to mean something. Because if you're in that model, and if you're in that view of the world, you're going to end up in a very bad place, which will be, you'll never be happy, you'll never be content, you'll never have enough money, you'll never have enough sex, you'll never have enough partners, you'll never have enough alcohol to try and deaden the, you'll never have enough.
Yeah.
Because humans are biological beings. Dopamine works until you get to a certain point. Once you get there, dopamine wears off, and then it's like we are addicted to dopamine as human beings, right?
Yeah.
So once you start to teach people about the fact of, okay, right, every decision you're making is made from a feeling, which is driven from a hormone.
Yeah.
Understand that. And so one of the first things I teach people, if you're at this space, you're coming for a relationship side of things, is like, before you say something, understand, here's the hormones that work: adrenaline, cortisol, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, vasopressin, all that kind of stuff. And there's more of that than that, right? But some are bad ones, some are good ones, right?
Yeah.
If I want to have a good outcome, and I want people to be able to trust me, I need to produce oxytocin. So what do I need to say, right? But what do I need to behave like? How do I show up? Because as you know, over 90% of our conversation or the way that we actually speak or connect with people is nonverbal.
Yeah.
Right? People have already summed up who we are before we even said a word.
Yeah.
People think language is what causes issues or causes connection. It's not. It's about presence, about breathing, it's about shoulder, it's about all that kind of stuff. So if I go, right, bring your energy, bring your presence, the way you look at people, and what you say on top of that, what hormone is going to be released in the other person when you say and do this?
Yeah.
That one thing changes everything, and it puts you in the top 1% of the world.
Yeah.
That one technique.
Yeah.
You're already ahead of everybody. If you're in corporate, right, and you're listening to this, you take that to work tomorrow, nobody else in your workplace is doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody. And you're in HR. You used to be in HR. You know that, right?
Yeah.
If I can have the awareness as a leader to go, by me saying this, I want a certain outcome, and this is about manipulation, influence, but good stuff.
Yeah.
I will do this to elicit a hormone out of you that will give me a connection with you and trust, and then I can communicate with you. If I want communication to break down, I'll go and release adrenaline and cortisol.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I'll argue with you, and then it'll be about who's right.
Yeah, fight or flight. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Now, talking about that, what about mental health and well-being for you? Like, how do you balance and prioritize that? Is it different? I'm assuming it's different now to what it used to be in corporate, but what sort of things do you do now that really work for you?
See, I find people, they have this thing where they're stressed 23 hours a day, and they think a yoga class is going to fix something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think a meditation or an ice bath or a journal is going to fix that
If
one
only.
out. If only that works.
The magic pill.
But that's the industry, right? They're selling you this stuff, right? That there's this one thing that will fix it, that if you do certain heated yoga, or you do, your Wim Hof stuff, or you do some tool that's going to solve this, right? Then you're becoming, something outside of me is going to fix my problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I do now?
Yeah.
Slow down. Slow down, awareness, breathe into your heart. There's no technique, right? Yeah. You don't worry. No one cares if you breathe through your mouth or you breathe through your nose. It doesn't matter, right? We are obsessed with techniques, right? The best technique is no technique.
Yep. And just make sure you breathe.
Breathe. Get barefooted.
Yep.
Right? Get on some grass or some sand or something, right? Yep. Ground yourself, right? And you just breathe. And you know what? If you're overthinking, you overthink.
Yeah, it is what it is, right, at that moment.
Right? Because everyone's trying to fight it. Everyone's trying to stop thinking. Everyone's trying to stop something via willpower, or I've got to do this. If I do this technique by this, and my legs this way, my arms this way, it's like this. You're in your head.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not in here.
You're not in your heart.
Yeah.
And even the heart breathing techniques, it's like it's a framework, it's a system. It's like it's okay. Let's do some heart based breathing. It's like okay, it's like, but you're still thinking about it. You know, going for a run, going for a swim, and looking at the black line underneath you.
Yeah.
Going for a camping.
Yeah. Sitting
on the toilet and reading a book.
Yep.
Having a shower.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
It's about slowing down, being present, and being in this place, because again, we're a vortex, and energy sits in the center here, and it's 0 point inside your chest. If you can just breathe slowly and normally and relaxed, whether it's whatever, let the parasympathetic, your body do what it's designed to do with the parasympathetic nervous system. But you don't need a process.
Yeah.
You don't need a technique. Most of that stuff's driven by marketing agencies trying to get you to buy shit.
Yeah.
You don't need it. You just need to have some presence, slow down, be present, listen to yourself, listen to your intuition, start to hear. And I'm probably running out of time, but one of the greatest assets you can put into place right now is listening. Listen to yourself, listen to your partner, really listen. Don't listen to respond.
Yeah.
Listen to listen.
Yeah.
Start to listen to yourself inside of there in the quiet,
in
that space where you've got bare feet on, you're sitting outside, and your thoughts are going crazy. It's okay.
Yeah.
Nothing to fix.
Yeah.
Eventually, it'll stop.
Yeah. I love that did you know that the same letters that are used to spell listen are the same letters to spell silent?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
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 We love complicating stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We love a process. We love a 7-step process to enlightenment. We think that as human beings that we need something outside of us to connect with something inside of us.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like something out there is going to connect something that's already intrinsic within us.
In us. Yeah.
You don't need to. The kingdom of God is within, right? You don't need to go anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I think for people like you and I, especially from the backgrounds we've had, I'd love this time, especially speaking to people like you, is because we know how bad it is in corporate Australia.
Yeah.
We know depression, anxiety, marriage breakdowns, worse stuff, right?
Yeah.
Alcohol abuse, drug abuse, diet abuse, we know how bad it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And I was asked this question by a good friend of mine last night, Gabby. He said, who do you want to really speak to? And I said, I don't want to speak to the spiritual people. Go. They can go and do that stuff. They know my shit, right? I want to speak to the guy in the corner office who's going home to his wife and kids who don't speak to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's chasing purpose and he's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, I'm so stressed. Let me go to the gym more, right? Let me put some more peptides into me. If my body just looked better, if I just got more jacked, if I got more money, I got a bigger car, when I'm a bigger holder, I got a bigger house, right? Mm-hmm. It will fix it. Mm. It doesn't.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Right. No. And I love that, our background speaks to these people because we can go, yes, we're as weird as hell. Yes, we are tinfoil hatters, right? Yeah. We're psychically gifted. We're highly intuitive. We believe in spiritualism. But you know what? We held the corner office with you guys.
Yeah. 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 We can relate. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we actually really only do have a couple of minutes left. But I did get to ask you 2 questions, so I'm really excited about that. But I am going to ask you the same question that I ask all of my guests before we finish our conversation. So, Greg, what is one lesson or truth that you wish you'd learned earlier on your journey?
That's a very difficult one because and this is a cop-out of an answer. I don't necessarily regret anything.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
If I changed it, then I changed where I am today.
Yeah.
We don't meet.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I could impart something on people, would be open up your heart.
Mm.
It's the most powerful asset you'll ever have. We're trying to protect it. Yeah. It is your superpower.
Yeah.
A person that's aligned from the heart and their mind and their presence and their essence is unstoppable.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful way.
I knew I was going to say that.
Yeah, I knew. And I knew when I was asking, and I was like, he's going to say nothing. You're the second guest. No, you're the second guest that's actually said that, and it's been a similar response. She was exactly the same.
Yeah.
She said, because I wouldn't be here where I am now
And I've done a lot of bad stuff. I've done
Yeah.
a lot. There's years in my 19s and mid-20s. I've got no idea what happened, right? So,
I love it. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful that we've had this time together. I just knew that the conversation would be amazing. So thank you for giving me and the audience your
pleasure.
time. Thank you.
Thanks, Megan.
I'd also like to thank all of my amazing and dedicated audience, the supporters and sponsors. I hope that you all have an amazing rest of the week, and I look forward to seeing everyone again next week. And again, thank you so much, Greg.
Thanks, Megan.